Yo, what is up, guys? Dale Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. If you're new here, if you could smash the subscribe button, it really helps me out. And also, if you guys could smash the like button, it really does go a long way for channel growth and things like that. But anyway, finally, it looks like we have an answer in regards to who Canelo Alvarez is fighting next. Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders have now reached terms for a May 2nd fight at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. This fight was the most likely fight to get made, and it looks like now that fight is going to happen. You know, we heard similar reports a couple of weeks ago, then Callum Smith's name came into conversation, but now Billy Joe seems to have secured this fight. And quite frankly, obviously we're waiting on official confirmation, but if it is Billy Joe Saunders that gets this fight, I'll be honest, I do think that's a better option than Callum Smith. Me personally, with Callum Smith, I personally felt he lost that last fight with John Ryder. I believe he's got unfinished business in that fight. I think he needs to rematch John Ryder and beat him convincingly before he moves on. But, you know, right now, it's not looking likely that's part of his plans, and that is a shame. You know, I think Callum Smith realises he was very lucky to retain his belt that night. I think he realises he got a lucky decision, a gift decision. But, you know, the attitude is, when you have a fight like that, avenge that wrong on your resume. You know, go in there and beat John Ryder decisively. Callum Smith hasn't decided to do that. You know, he's decided to go another route, and that's left a bad taste in my mouth. Hence why I'm glad Billy Joe Saunders has got this fight. Quite frankly, I don't believe Callum Smith deserves it, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been hearing basically since 2014 from Sky, from Matchroom fanboys, that Callum Smith is the best super middleweight in the world. Until this day, he's only got George Groves on his resume. Other than George Groves, who's there? Rocky Fielding and John Ryder, who he lost to. Callum Smith doesn't deserve this fight as far as I'm concerned. You know, he needs to put in some more groundwork in the super middleweight division. I know Billy Joe Saunders, you know, he in recent times hasn't exactly been pulling up trees, but if you look at his resume, I think it's stronger overall in comparison to Callum Smith. You know, he's got a bit more depth there, the likes of Andy Lee, John Ryder, Chris Eubank Jr., David Lemieux. You know, overall, I just think Billy Joe Saunders' resume is a little bit better, and he's put in more work over the years in comparison to Callum Smith. Also, I think the style matchup is a lot more intriguing with Billy Joe Saunders. Callum Smith, yes, he's a bigger man, he's 6'3", he can punch, but stylistically, I think he's tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez. Slow feet, upright, predictable combinations. He's tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez. Billy Joe Saunders, on the other hand, when he's at his best, he's a tricky mover out of that southpaw stance, good hand speed, good lateral movements. Overall, stylistically, I just think he's a harder matchup for Canelo Alvarez. Hence why I like this fight more. You know, that's not to say I don't make Canelo Alvarez a huge favourite. I obviously do. I believe Canelo Alvarez beats either one of these guys. But stylistically, I just think Billy Joe Saunders makes for a more interesting matchup. Maybe I'm alone there. Maybe you guys think differently. But in my opinion, I just see Billy Joe Saunders as a more intriguing fight. You know, in the past, Canelo has struggled with some movers. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather, Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara. You know, he struggled with all of these guys. Obviously, he got schooled by Floyd. Arguably, he lost to Lara. Some people even say Austin Trout beat Canelo. So I think Billy Joe Saunders can replicate a similar style to those guys. And who knows, maybe he will have success. Whereas Callum Smith, I don't really see what this guy does to trouble Canelo. Yeah, he's a bigger man. Yeah, he's got decent power. But I don't see anything there that Canelo can't deal with, in all honesty. So I much prefer this Billy Joe Saunders fight. Hopefully it gets confirmed and gets pushed over the line You know, we've been hearing a lot in recent weeks about Canelo's next opponent, but now it looks like we have an answer. You know, we just now need official confirmation that this fight has been confirmed. But share your thoughts below. What do you make of this fight between Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez? You know, another thing to consider, we're in March now, 5th of March, as I make this video. That's not a long training camp for Billy Joe Saunders. One thing I will say, his style, I think he really needs to be on to be effective. He really needs to be fit, you know. His timing needs to be spot on. His reactions need to be spot on. So maybe this short training camp could be a hindrance. But regardless, in regards to styles, I certainly believe Billy Joe Saunders is a more intriguing matchup for Canelo in comparison to Callum Smith. That's just my opinion. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Tell me what you guys think. Peace.